All right, this morning we're going to learn about the operator in MongoDB, not in. So, very similar to SQL, we may have a range of values, and we may be highlighting just various values in that range. And a good example would be IDs, and sometimes we don't want maybe 3, 4, 5 in number of values. And remember that with in and not in, these are where it's not orderly, right? Like for instance, if you want everything that's less than 10, you can just use the less than operator, right? Or the greater than operator if you want a range that's greater than. But if you have 100 different values and you want or don't want some values in that group, think of it being like 1 to 17 and you just don't want 3 and you don't want 8, well, less than or greater than aren't going to be your best operators to use. And so there are going to be situations in which not in will be useful. So let's fire up Mongo here. And let's connect to our database and then pull up the collection. So we're going to do db.sqlserver.find and then .pretty. And we're going to be looking at the numbers. So in this case, our key is number. Key is the equivalent in the SQL world of column. So this right here, number. That's basically the column. And you'll notice that these are numeric values. They're not wrapped in quotes. They're not strings or numbers. And I'll show you why that's important in a second. So we're going to call the same query, db.sqlserver.find.pretty, and then we're going to look at the column. We're going to specify in our where clause number, and then we're going to look where the value is not in. So not in syntax is $NIN, not in. Think of it like that, okay? And we're going to specify an array. In this case, I'm going to say 3, 11. Okay, we'll close that, and close that. So I'm looking for all of the values in this collection SQL server where the number is not in 3 and 11. And notice how 3 and 11 with the not in are wrapped in square brackets. And you will see we get back 7 and we get back 9, and we can look at the values and we will see that that's what we should get back, right? Value 7 and 9. So what would happen if we wrapped these in quotes? And it's very important to know the difference between strings and numbers, especially early on, and that's because you will see we get back everything. Well, that is not what we're looking for. So when it is a number, it's clear that your syntax indicates a number. As you see, the difference between this and this is throwing it like they're strings. They're not strings, they're numbers. So make sure that your syntax specifies numbers if it's numbers, or if it's strings, that it specifies strings.